Let's get ready for another soap making video. This is Miss Cleo from Arsenio Blue. Let's make soap.
Hello everyone, Miss Cleo here, and I wanted to show you how I make my glycerin soap. I already have my oils and waxes, as you see, melted down. And I'm going to go ahead and leave this little hot plate, or whatever they call these, on low. Now, it used to take me 2 hours plus to make my glycerin soap, but I can make it a bit sooner now, faster should I say. And I just wanted to walk you through the steps I take and how fast you can make melt and pour. Now actually I am going to turn this off, and when you start putting everything else in, you want to keep it under 100 degrees if you possibly can. That way you don't burn it, because you'll know that you burned the oils and the glycerin if it turns any darker than what you see right now. Okay, so my lye solution is already mixed, and I added 1 teaspoon of natural sea salt. Okay, the other thing that I'm going to do is add, and I'm reading my notes now. I wrote a book and published it. It's available on Etsy as a digital download, or you can get it on Amazon as the full book. So besides the fact that I need my glasses on, I'm going to go ahead and add my lye solution so that we are basically creating the soap. Never leave your soap, because it will bow over just like this, and you will have to lift it up, remove it, turn it off, and get some air in there. Keep in mind that this is a hot process soap method, okay? Always hot process. I'm going to let that cook down for a minute. You can put the lid on here if you want to. I'm going to leave it on the heat. Excuse me, but I did turn it off. You can use your hand mixer. Yep, and I ain't got my hand mixer plugged in. Let me plug that in real quick. I just want to give it a quick buzz and a mix, okay? Adding some air into it to get it to calm down as well, okay? This is not my favorite hand mixer. Not even close. But You see how it has gone through the gel stage, and it does look a bit different, and that is because of the salt that I put in there. Okay. Keep an eye on it. This is not going to take us 2 hours. Okay. We just want to cook that down a bit. Cook some of the water out. And remember, our pot is not on. Okay. Now the next thing I do is I add my glycerin to my solvent. Okay. And my solvent that I'm using is half and half propylene glycol and half grain alcohol. This is my solvent. It's just clear liquid, right? My solvent. And I'm going to add my glycerin straight to my solvent right now. You know, mix it up really good and make sure that it's clear before you add it to your soap. Okay? And here, let me turn this down a bit. All right, you can see me here adding this solvent, okay? Sorry, you guys, I pushed a button and it kicked it off. I'm going back in here to this soap, okay? You see all the fluid that's in there? It's from your lye and your water, right? It's wet, see? So continue to let her move a bit to get some of that out and do just a little bit of drying out. So I've turned the heat back on it. I want it to bubble some more. The bubbles allow you to know that you have a lot of liquid that you're going to have to cook out. And it doesn't have to be all at once, which is what takes the hours and the hours and the hours to do this. Okay. But you'll see how the next step literally will create your soap. The glycerin soap. I'm going to show you the 2 soap bars that I made, that I added some color to before the batch, right before I made this one. And I put it back on high, but you'll see how it's calmed down a bit, right? And you can get separation, so take her down. Soap off of the side. You want all your soap to get in there. Yes, looking good so far. Keep going. Translucent, that's what we want. And if it tries to separate, continue to whip your soap. This is good. Very good. You don't want it to totally dry out and get soft. So within the next minute or two, I'm going to add the solvent, the glycerin. Looking good. Let's put a pot on it for a couple minutes. A lid on the pot for a couple of minutes. She's looking good. Very good. And you can watch this for a couple minutes and see if she's going to rise. Now your next step may get a rise out of it. This is good. This is what I want to see. This is what you're looking for. It's gel phase mashed potatoes, okay? You are going to slowly add your solvent solution. This is the magic that you're looking for. Do not add all of that all at once, and this is very hot. That's beautiful. There's a certain scent that this gives off, which is, I'm sure, the scent of the propylene glycol and the grain alcohol. I think I smell more of the grain alcohol, but I think the propylene glycol is kind of odorless. If you do not totally let it dry out, you will not have to wait for melted down big chunks. You don't want to wait like that. Let's finish it. We're going to let this cook down a bit and begin to clarify. All that bubbling means there is a lot of water. Moisture that has to cook out. This will clear up. Your next step is to add your simple syrup and let her rip. Simple syrup solution. That's it. That is how you make glycerin soap. And I'm going to let you watch her clear up. If you can see on my spatula, we already have glycerin soap. And we're done. So I want to show you the bars that I made previously. As this is boiling up and cooking all that moisture down. You see? This one, I'm sure is going to be really pretty. Oh, that's gorgeous. Look at that. Can you see the? Make sure I've got you in the camera. Look at that. You can see from the other side, it's glycerin. Glycerin bar soap I made. I'm going to put them on the bevel so you can see the clear side of it. The smooth side of it, right? Not it poured side. I'm going to try not to mess it up. All right, there's the back of it. You see it? It will take color very, very well. I love that. I so love that. Clean your soaps up. Cleans up very well. If you were making a bar of soap. Now you can see from here how it's bubbling up. You always want to have your spray bottle of alcohol ready. And of course, I've misplaced mine somewhere that I had a few minutes ago. But it's not high. I'll be right back. I dropped it somewhere. Bear with me. Here it is. And keep that down. And even though it's on the pot, I don't have the power turned on, so there's no more heat that's going to generate from it. It'll begin to cool down. So when I made that first batch, I colored the purple soap and then the pink soap. And the rest of the batch is here. I'm going to turn you a bit so I can take it out. Unless you use a lot of melt and pour, you don't have to make really large batches. There it is. I tinted this one with a turquoise. It's really pretty. Very pretty. Let me get the cutter piece. Go. Isn't that pretty? Look at that. And you can see my finger through it. So it's definitely translucent, right? Let's kick it down. Let's see. You can see through my paper, you just cannot make it out. You can see through that green. I'm gonna put the recipe that I use down below. There it is. So you see how it cuts. Love it. Love it, love it. So I'm going to put this on my cardboard paper. And we're going to melt it down so I can show you how it melts down. How easily it melts. I'm going to turn this on and put that in. I'll take another piece. Melt all this down. And you can melt it down again and again. Now, the way you get glass clear melt and pour that's colorless is you have to use colorless oils. If you add any oil in it with any tint of color, yellow, green, you're gonna get a yellowish tinted soap base. Hence the one I have here, which has sunflower oil, coconut oil, olive oil, and lard in this batch that I've just made. So while this is melting down, I want to show you the skin, because we see the fuzzy. Well, that's your foam. You see the skin that's actually, whoops, on this soap now. And it's clear. It's still very hot and boiling, right? And this means there's water fluid in it that you can continue to cook this for a bit longer and get that out. Okay? This is not the fastest heating pot, but it's okay. I've got another mold that we're going to put this bar in. And that was some foam on top. You see that little bubble of foam on top? Put it in there. That's what I'm going to do. But yeah, that's the melt and pour I made earlier. I do not like to use a lot of the glycerin because I don't like it to sweat. Glycerin soap, ladies and gentlemen, and it did not take us 2 hours. And you can see that it's glycerin. You see the skin come back over it again? That's your proof that you have glycerin soap. See that? Lovely. And again, you can melt it down however many times, but remember that every time you melt it down, it is losing volume. right? Because it's drying out more. All right. So having that said, I'm gonna move this over so that you can actually see me pour this in the mold. And any skin you have over your soap, you just can spray it. Remember, alcohol is going to dissipate, just like that. We're going to turn this off, and we're going to take this, and we're going to pour this in here. And yep, we have bubbles, but again, you have your alcohol. And that is that. That is how you make glycerin soap, and I'm sure it took us less than 30 minutes. I'm going to pour that, but what I want to do with this is I want to see just how soapy it is. You do not have to let this soap cure because you already took it to and through the gel stage, but every time you melt it down, you're gonna yet still be cooking it, so it is already completely saponified. Okay, completely saponified. I'm gonna move this out of our way. You do not need a lot of fragrance. It takes fragrance so much stronger and faster than regular soap. Cold process. Gone over, pour me some water here. I'm gonna put my hand down here in this hot soap just to get some of the side of it. I want to know if we'll get any bubbles now. You don't have to let this cure, but you can. Okay. And then with this, put it like that. So the first soap, this green soap, is not even an hour old yet. Well, it's about an hour now. Okay, and you see we have soap. So what I am gonna do is take the gloves off, so you will see my dry hands. We're gonna get a little bit of the soap here, because it's hot. It's not dripping at all. You see that? All right. So I'm gonna get this on my hands. Okay. Let's see if we've got any bubbles coming out of this yet. And if it's gonna be soapy. And there we go. And you saw me make this live, so I'm getting a little soap I dropped on the table. And it's dried out and in its bar form, or however. It's going to lather really nicely. I like it. Okay, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and pour it because it's got a real nice skin on it. I'll wash my hands and get that batch poured into a mold. Again, you can get my ebook on Etsy. You can get the hardback cover, well, it's a soft cover on Amazon. You can follow me here, Arsenio Blue on YouTube, and of course I am on Facebook at Arsenio Blue. Let me get my mold and let's get this poured. Pour it. You pour this and then spray alcohol on top. And I kept the foam in there. So for that little foam there, you can take that out. You don't want that at all in there. Spray her down. That's a done deal. I'll come back with some pictures to show you after I cut her tomorrow and unmold these other bars for you. I used to make this with, so it's been about 30 to 40 minutes. Look, like it is literally hard. Can't believe that. I mean, I can, but I wasn't expecting it this fast tonight. I really wasn't, so there it is. There's our glycerin soap. I'll come back with another video to show you how to make this clear. But again, with the other oils, all those oils that I used, you'll usually get this. But if you want glycerin soap that's going to be different, you know, colors, great. But I'll come back and show you how to make this clear. Bye for now.